Welcome back, Scentsy friends. Well, August is already here and almost gone, and we're already talking about the Scentsy Halloween edit. Yes, this is going to be September's monthly edit, and honestly, there's a lot of really cute things in here. There are some super adorable warmers. I think a warmer that just pretty much anybody will find something that they love. There's a few new products that Scentsy has never done before. I'm kind of excited about those. And then, of course, there is the new scents. Now, I will say, since he did kind of take a different approach to this Halloween, we don't have that traditional candy, caramel, apple, kettle corn, or caramel corn scents. Since he did kind of a dark and mysterious route, they took 3 Scentsy scents that Scentsy already has and put a dark little twist on them, and then brought back 2 scents that are currently available already. So total of 5 scents, 3 brand new ones. So let's go ahead and dive on in. And we're going to start off with the warmers first and then work our way to the brand new scents. First up is Midnight Jack, and this one is definitely a statement piece. It has the twisted black tree design, little jack-o'-lanterns all over it, and the mist comes right out of the pumpkin on top. Jack's Glow is a much more classic Halloween look. It's a creamy ceramic jack-o'-lantern with that warm orange glow coming right through the face. Ghostlight Gourd is just adorable. It looks like a little pumpkin dressed up as a ghost, and the face lights up when the warmer is on. Booze Treats is another really cute one. You've got this little ghost holding a pumpkin candy bucket, and it looks especially fun styled with all the Halloween candy. Haunted Haven gives you that traditional spooky house look with the black exterior and warm light glowing through all the windows. Hocus Pocus is a little black cauldron warmer, and I love the bright green glow around the top. This one definitely has that witchy Halloween feel. The fragrance flowers are much darker and moodier this year. With the black bases and the beautiful cream flowers, they really fit the collection well. There are also black reed diffusers, and I really like how sleek these look. They have a darker, almost botanical Halloween vibe without being overly spooky. The Halloween Oil 3-pack includes Shadowed Spirit, Hexed Harvest, and Bergamot Brew, so you get 3 different seasonal options for your diffuser. Black Luna Night is probably one of the prettiest pieces of the collection. The smoky glass with the little bats look especially good once the candle is lit. There's also a 3-pack of Halloween scent circles with dark florals, bats, and some pretty moody designs. And finally, we have Midnight the Bat. She has this soft gray look, little bat wings, a black dress, and that cute little orange nose, so she's definitely more sweet than spooky. So now let's talk about the little mini air diffuser, and it is really, really cute. And I do have this little guy right here. Now this is the box that it comes in, and it is the Pumpkin Spirit mini air diffuser. And this is actually really adorable. So I don't know if you're familiar with these or not, but one cool little thing I do want to show you before we dive in to what it actually looks like is on the back of these, you can see the little button right here. Now you can actually move this configuration for the plug in any direction you need to if your house has, a different configuration. So you just press the little button right here and you can move this, and you can move it to the side like that if that's the way that your plug goes, or you can move it into this direction, see right there, or you can just move it right back to how it was if that's how your plug is. So one cool thing that this is very versatile. It'll work in any plug outlet that you have. So now let's talk about this cute little guy. All right, so the way it goes on is you just stick him right on top like that, and this is called Pumpkin Spirit, and he has a cute little pumpkin right here in his hand and cute little eyes right there. They are not holes, but they are black, and yeah, they're not holes though. Now the scent is going to come out the back right here. There's a nice big hole, and this is actually a pretty heavy mini air diffuser. They're usually pretty lightweight, but this guy is actually pretty sturdy. Adorable, really cute, and he's going to be $40, and it is 5.5 inches tall. So now let's talk about the edit scents. Now, I will say that when I first read through these, I was a little confused because, I don't know, in my opinion, when I think of Halloween, I'm thinking of candy. I'm thinking of like kettle corn, caramel corn, those kinds of things. So these are different. These are not gourmand. These are not candy scents. These are very dark and mysterious scents. So I think maybe that's the lean that Scentsy was kind of going for this, maybe dark, mysterious types of scents. And an interesting thing is that these are all plays on scents that Scentsy currently has. So one thing to keep in mind. So there are 5 scents total in the bundle. Now you do not have to get the entire bundle. You can purchase each of these bars individually. So if there's 1 or 2 that, maybe strike your fancy, just do that. Pick up 1 or 2 bars. You can do that. So I do like that. The scents are Dark Veiled Lilac, which is a play on lilacs and violets. And this is the actual scent of the month. Then there is Black Luna Night, which is a play on Luna. Of course, Lost in the Amazon is a play on Amazon Rain. And then we have, and I don't have a bar, but I have Luna right here. It's another bar in the bundle. And then Moonlight Whisper. Now this isn't in the catalog. Technically, it's in the fall winter insert. So one thing to keep in mind that Luna and Moonlight Whisper, you can kind of get right now anyways. I'm not really sure why they needed to be in the edit. I think 2 different scents would have been a better choice, but Scentsy did what Scentsy did. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about each scent. Let's do the ones that you can currently get right now, and that's Moonlight Whisper. So the scent notes for this are spiced vanilla, oaked aged barrels, and sugared musk. So this was new to the catalog, I believe, last year. It's a really pretty scent. I do like it. It is pretty light, though. That was my only gripe with the scent. Yeah, to me, this is something that I think definitely needs to be in a smaller type of space, maybe a hallway, maybe a laundry room, a bathroom, a small bedroom. It's pretty, but again, pretty darn light in my opinion. And then of course Luna, which it's in the catalog year round. A really pretty sweet white floral. I do like this one. It's one of my favorite florals. But again, I think it would have been nice if Scentsy gave us 2 brand new scents besides the 3. Just my opinion. All right, let's do Lost in the Amazon first. So this is Mandarin, Orchid, and Palo Santo. And this is actually kind of like a very light, pale greenish color. It's not white, but it's not super green either. Kind of like a pale green. All right. Oh, okay. This is very dark and mysterious for sure. If you're a fan of Amazon Rain, don't think this smells like Amazon Rain because it doesn't at all. Yeah. What am I getting? I feel like I'm getting like a spice almost. It says there's mandarin in here. I don't get any mandarin at all. Orchid, yeah, because there is definitely a floral component to this. Palo Santo for sure. I would say the Palo Santo definitely leans woody. It's not like a very smoky Palo Santo. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure what I think. I don't know. I don't know if all these scents really combine together really well, to be honest. I don't know. The mandarin is completely lost. I don't get any of the mandarin. And then the scents that are normally in Amazon Rain, which is like, it has like jasmine and coconut and I think some fruits. It's a really pretty floral, fresh type of a scent, but very creamy with that coconut. Like none of that, I don't feel I'm getting any of that with this. To me, this is a very unique scent on its own, but I'm not sure that it's really quite working, at least for me and my nose. Yeah, I don't know, it's different. I would say the top is more floral and the bottom I get more of that like weird spiciness. And even though it's not like necessarily like it's not like a cinnamon or anything, but I almost feel like maybe the Palo Santo is getting a little bit spicy to my nose. So I don't know, Lost in the Amazon. It's different, that's for sure. Not my favorite though. Won't be a repurchase, but I will warm it and see how it does on warm. Who knows? Maybe it'll transform and knock my socks off. Who knows? All right, let's do Black Luna Night next. This is actually a pretty color. This is Jasmine, Sandalwood, and Rain Mist. And I know jasmine is one of the florals that is in the original Luna scent. Look at how gorgeous that is. A really pretty light blue colored wax. Okay, top is kind of light. I am getting more on the bottom. Okay, so this is definitely more floral than I think Lost in the Amazon was. I would say Lost in the Amazon was almost more like a woodsy type of a scent with some floral, but mostly woodsy. Black Luna Night is definitely more of the floral bar. I do feel like I do get that rain mist. There is a definite, almost like dark, watery note with this. Yeah, I feel like maybe it almost feels like I get a little bit of apple in the under notes. It's interesting. This is definitely more sweet as well than the Lost in the Amazon. I do think I like this one better. It's not a home run scent for me though, but I do like it better than Lost in the Amazon. Let's see, Sandalwood. I would say there's a little tiny bit of powderiness. Not a lot, but it kind of makes it lean towards like a body care, aquatic, floral type of a scent. Again, very, very different than Luna, for sure. Luna's like light and airy and sweet. This is dark, a little heavier, aquatic, and floral. So interesting. Black Luna Night. I like it better, but it's definitely not a love for me either though. All right, now Dark Veiled Lilac. This is lilacs, plum, suede, and cedar. And this, of course, is the play on lilacs and violets, which I do not like normally. I'm not into those super floral scents, but we'll see how this one goes. It's a pretty purple colored wax. Okay, this one is definitely the sweetest out of all three, for sure. Let's see, lilacs, plum, suede, and cedar. Okay, there's definitely lilacs. This is definitely a floral, but there's a lot of sweetness, and maybe that's coming from the plum. Yeah. This one definitely smells the strongest out of all three, and sweeter. Floral leaning for sure, but a sweeter type of a floral. Suede, yeah, I would say there's a suede note. I think that's kind of helping make this be a little more, almost not really creamy, but almost cashmere-y. It's almost like a cashmere-y, suede-y, sweet floral. Again, very interesting, very different. I would say it is a dark type of a scent too. I would say this is the most sultry out of the three. Yeah. Interesting. I would say if you are a fan of florals, you might really, really like this one. I think if you don't like florals, you might not like it though. But yeah, if I had to rank the three new scents, I think my favorite out of the three would be the Dark Veiled Lilac, and that actually really surprises me because I'm not a fan of lilacs and violets, but at least this one is just a little sweeter than the other two. Yeah, again, it's not a love, but I like it better than I do the other two. All right, Dark Veiled Lilac. I think my second favorite would probably be Black Luna Night. Again, not a love, not a repurchase, but I like it better than Lost in the Amazon. Yeah, I don't know. In these two scents right here, there is an undernote I'm getting in both of them, and it's not the same undernote, but an undernote that I'm not really loving. And I can't put my finger on what it is, which note is making it feel that way to me. But yeah. And then yeah, my least favorite's Lost in the Amazon. I get no mandarin whatsoever. Just a heavy woodsy scent with some floral. And I swear I get spice. Interesting. So yeah. Overall opinion on the scents is I'm a little disappointed. I really wish Scentsy would have gone the route of what we think of Halloween. Like, let's have some, I don't know, some fun candy corn scents, maybe some jelly bean scents. I don't know, just some candy, maybe a caramel apple, just something that's just a little more Halloween forward, fun, gourmand. These, I mean, I see where Scentsy was going with it, like the dark and mysterious, but I don't know. I think, in my own opinion, this is kind of a little bit of a fail. I'm not loving the scent combinations that Scentsy did with those ones. So leave a comment below if you plan on picking any of these bars up. If you've already smelled them, what do you think? Do you wish Scentsy would have gone the more traditional gourmand Halloween route? Or are you into these types of dark, sultry types of scents? I don't know. For me, my own opinion, not my favorite. Little disappointed, but I am super curious to hear what you guys think. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.